the art of fighting without fighting? Show me some of it.
Hi there everybody, Michael Valenti here with the School of Self-Defense in Indianapolis, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the proper fighter's mindset when it comes to self-defense. Of course, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up button, and click the little bell so you can get notified anytime I make a new video. Also, if you live too far to train with me in person and you would still like to learn Kempo 360, we now have an online program at kempo360.com, so be sure to check that out. When I was in college, I had a friend who was about 6 foot tall, but maybe 150 pounds. So needless to say, he was a really lanky sort of dude. He really focused a lot on the sciences and academics. He wasn't a very physically imposing person. He wasn't scary to look at, and ultimately wasn't very strong. However, he really felt like he never needed martial arts because in his mind, if for some reason something were to happen, if someone were to attack him or attack his family, well, the rage would just make him into a good fighter, that the pure adrenaline and aggression would give him everything he needed in order to defend himself. And of course, if you are a well-trained fighter, you know this is a silly statement. There's a million guys out there who will tell you, I don't know, man, when I get mad, I just see red, and next thing I know, everybody's bloody around me. That's generally full of shit, and it's not what a good fighter or well-trained martial artist does in a moment of crises. When we think about people who are good at dealing with moments of drama or crises, so you think about like a paramedic, for example, or a firefighter, it's more about a cool, calm, and collected approach. And that's really what we want if somebody is attacking us. I want to do my best to not be flooded with emotion, but rather view this almost like work. I just have to get in there and get my job done. The problem with getting overly aggressive or relying on your anger or I just see red, bro, is that when you get into that kind of emotional state, your fine motor skills stop working. Your fine motor skills is like your ability to like thread a needle, and you're only left with your gross motor skills. That's your ability to like grab like a can. Also, your thinking goes to trash. When you are in an elevated state of emotion, your decision-making just goes right out the window, and you'll tend to make rash decisions and ultimately stupid decisions. Instead, in an actual self-defense situation, we want to be cool, calm, and collected. We want to get into the state that in the martial arts world we call no mind. Now, a lot of people misunderstand the concept of no mind. They hear that term and they think, oh, I'm without thought, and that's not what no mind is. No mind means that I'm not clinging to thought. I'm not holding on to any thought. That as one thought comes in, I just kind of let it go. No mind is kind of like eating breakfast by yourself in the morning, where you're kind of there, you're present, but you're not really thinking about much. You're just kind of present and reacting to what is happening. That's the mental state we want to be in, because that cool, calm, and collected, almost completely divorced from emotion mindset results in you making faster and more logical decisions. For example, have you ever tried to do a very fine motor task while you're angry, like maybe working on a car or doing dishes while you're mad? You tend to do a terrible job. You mess things up worse because you're mad. It is when you are relaxed, it is when you are in the zone that you're able to achieve the best results. Now, of course, I do want to make a caveat that I'm not saying that you are literally like a Vulcan, completely numb of emotion, because you're still going to feel regardless. You're a human. But the idea is, instead of having a sense of anger or a sense of fear, you should have a sense of determination. You ever watch a lion going to attack something? They're very focused. They aren't fearful, they're focused. It's not that you are fighting to save your life, you're fighting because you are offended that they thought you were a victim and you're going to prove them wrong. It's a difference in mentality that's kind of hard to get. It's definitely not something you can get over 3 easy lessons. It's something that takes a long time to develop. It's like that old story of a guy drip feeding himself snake poison so that eventually he becomes immune to the poison. If he were to just put all the snake venom into his veins, he would die, but it was because he drip fed it. It's because he did little bit by little bit that he was able to eventually develop an immunity to the snake venom. And dealing with violence is a very similar thing. That if you take someone and you just thrust them into the deep end, you put them just in the middle of a battle zone, yeah, most people are going to do pretty horribly because you've not mentally prepared them for it. You've flooded too much, you've given them too much venom. Instead, the process that I use at my school is a drip feeding process, that everything starts off very jovial and very fun, and then over a period of months, if not years, I slowly acclimate you to being in a more violent and destructive state of mind. I suppose the entire point of this video is just to get ahead of this weird idea that you will have this huge adrenaline dump that will result in you performing better when you are in a self-defense situation. That's not what happens. You'd never rise to the occasion. When that adrenaline dump happens, you sink to the level of your training. And so it's all about training your mind to be as cool, calm, collected, focused, and determined in a moment of crises. That's what's going to get you home safe. Of course, if you're still watching this video, you're clearly enjoying the content, so be sure to hit the subscribe button, click the thumbs up button, and click that little bell. So if you made it to the end of the video, be sure to include the phrase, "you've got to focus," somewhere in your response to me, and then you and I will know you made it to the end. And of course, before I let you go, I want to invite you one more time to come train with me online through our online self-defense program, Kempo360.com. Once again, that's Kempo360.com, where you can learn the art of Kenpo from a distance. So until next time, everybody, I'm Michael Valenti with the School of Self-Defense. Fight on.